All right, so for this drawing here, we're going to be doing exercise number 10.7, which looks a little bit complicated, but it's not going to be too bad. It's a bunch of circles that we're going to be, we could mirror this, we could do a lot of things. I'm going to do it without mirroring, but I'm going to add in a new command called um, the circular array, which should be pretty cool to do. And that's how we're going to get these circles evenly spaced around the middle circle. So let's get started. We're going to start with this inner circle here, which it tells us the diameter of it is 0.75. So we're going to go type in circle. Okay, and 0, 0 can be our center. Move this towards the center of my screen here. And we said once again the diameter was 0.75, so the radius is 0.375. Okay, we're going to do another circle and make them share the same center. So we have to turn on the center snap under OSnap. Lock it to the center, and we'll do the outside edge here, which is a radius of 2.5. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do the next circle that's on here, a 2-inch circle. Okay, we'll do our next one. We might as well do this circle here, which tells us that it is let's see, where is the dimension? There it is, 2.5 diameter. Okay, so circle, center, 2.5. The radius is going to be 1.25. Okay, we may probably going to wind up deleting that later, but for now we'll leave it. So I also have two more circles here. So if I look at them, it tells me the radius of this circle here is 0.15, so the diameter is 0.3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another circle that's 0.15 bigger than the 2-unit circle. So that circle is going to share the same center, and it's going to be 2.15. And then another circle shares the same center, and it'll be 0.15 less than 2. So that will be 1.85. Okay, and I think at this point we've drawn almost all the circles we're going to need. Last one we're going to put is we're going to put a circle at the top here. So another circle, and this is going to be at the top quadrant point. Okay, and I'm sure I could space these circles around, which could take some time figuring out some angles, where did things go, but I'm going to do it easy. I'm going to go to this top quadrant point, which is, remember, a snap. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to type in the diameter, or radius in this case. The diameter is 0.5, so my radius is 0.25. I could have also chose to do the center point as 0, 1.25, but since I have the snaps, I might as well use them. Save the math. I don't need to think about all these different numbers. I want to make life easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the fun part. I'm going to array these circles around. So if I type in circle, actually I think I'm typing in array. Okay, I type in array. It wants me to select my object. I press enter, and then it wants to know, is this a rectangular array? Is it a path array, or is it a polar array? Okay, in our case, it's a polar array. So it wants us to select the center point. So I'm going to click the center point, and then it says to me, hey, okay, I know you wanted a polar array, and you chose the base point, but how many do you want? I could put any amount. Okay, this happens to default to 6, which is how many there are, but I could have changed this to 5, and it will automatically update. I could also change the angle of the amount, so maybe I want 5 of them, but only 180 degrees. So a super powerful tool that you can do a lot of really amazing things with. Okay, so ours was 360 and we wanted 6 of them. And then we just press enter and boom, just like that, we have all 6 of our holes done. We can get rid of that circle. Okay, later we'll probably wind up keeping that because we want to have a center line, but for now, that's good. It works for us. So now what we're going to do is we need to start to offset some lines. Okay, so I'm going to go to the line command. I'm going to come down quadrant point to quadrant point, and then I'm going to start some offsets. So I first want to offset the width of this object here. Okay, so it tells me it's 3.75 wide, so I have to divide that by 2. Okay, so break out that calculator. There's no shame in using a calculator. So 3.75 divided by 2 is 1.875. So I'm going to type that in for my offset, 1.875. Choose my center line, go to the right, choose my center line that I drew here, and go to the left. Okay? And then, if I'm going to continue on, I can see 0.5 in is where my next line is going to be. So another offset. Okay, 0.5 this time, which I got from right here. And I'm going from here to here. So this is going to go in, in. I then have 0.7, okay, which is the total distance from here to here. So I have to draw first in a line from quadrant point to quadrant point. And then I'm going to offset. And I got to divide 0.7 by 2, which is going to be 0.35. Okay, I'm going to go up and down. And gee, we are making a mess in this drawing. But don't worry, we're going to start cleaning it up. Maybe now is a good time to start cleaning things up. So let's go to trim. Okay, I can trim away this entire side here. Okay, get rid of all of these lines. We don't need any of them because nothing goes past this point here. Okay, I don't care. I just cut it along there. All those little extra bits I can delete in a moment here. Okay, trimming all of this away because this is where the object ends. Okay, trimming away, trim, trim, trim. Okay, I can start to trim away the inside here, so trim this away. Okay, leaving this little kind of notched cutout here. Okay, we can trim away this portion here. Okay, so I'm leaving these indentations here, working it around here, trying to figure out where everything goes. Let's see, trim that here, here. I'm sure I'm going to forget one and have to go back, but hey, you know, that's just the way it is sometimes. Can't remember everything. So now I can go ahead and I'm going to delete these extra little bits here. Delete that. Okay, I'm going to do this side. Delete this. Okay, zoom in here. Okay, don't want to delete that circle, but I want to delete this line here. This line. Okay, so I'm starting to see the object come to life here. So I'm going to do some fillets, okay, to round over these corners. So it tells me it's 0.20 is the typical radius. So we know when we do a radius fillet, we have to tell it what the radius is. So we're going to type in R. So fillet R, and the radius is 0.2. And I can also now type in M because I'm going to do multiple. So I got to fillet here, here, here. Okay, and I'm just kind of clicking line to line, working my way around the shape here. Okay, and if you make a mistake, you can always go Control Z. It's no big deal. Okay, let me know if it's not working and I can come by and help you out. But I made this indentation here. Okay, so I did all my fillets and I indented it in nice and smoothly. The next thing we're going to do is we need to make these curves for the ends of this kind of arc that runs throughout here. So we need to figure out exactly where these are going to go. So I'm looking at it right now, trying to determine exactly where the point is that these are centered on. Looking. Okay, and I see it, boom, right here. Okay, a lot of these drawings are like a puzzle, you know. How does the dimensions on here, how can you recreate it? So it tells me it's 45 degrees from the base. Okay, had to find it. I didn't know where it was. So I'm going to type in line, and I'm going to start my line on the center point. And I'm going to go up 45 this way. Okay, 45, 45, 45. So my line, I'm going to make it, I don't know, 3 long, make it nice and long, and it's going to be at 45 degrees. Okay, start another line. Start it at the center point. I'm going to go 45 back from 180, okay, which will give me, let's see, 135. So 3 at an angle of 135. Okay, I'm getting tired of doing math here, so I'm going to mirror these two lines. So I typed in mirror, selected my lines, enter, and then I'm going to choose the center point and go to the right. I'm not going to erase my sources. So now I'm going to go ahead and delete some lines because I don't need them, and they're just going to hurt me later on. Okay, getting rid of some of these stray lines here. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw some circles. So I'm going to go to circle, draw a circle here. Okay, radius is 0.15. Okay, another circle here, radius is 0.15. Another circle here. Okay, 0.15. Another circle here, 0.15. Okay, I can now get rid of this fancy X I drew. Don't need it anymore. Okay, if I was trying to add dimension to this, I probably would keep it, but for now I'm just going to trim. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of these lines here. Okay, so really a lot of these lines I'm getting rid of, but you know, it depends on what you're doing. You know, a lot of these lines can become markers for when you're adding dimensions. For right now, we're avoiding that. We're not adding dimensions on here. But you certainly could add dimensions to help someone else make the drawing based upon what you did. So that's the final product. So I did some trimming there, cleaned it up a bit, deleted some lines after I did my trimming. So I exited out of trim by hitting enter or escape. And I was able to create this drawing. You know, this is the beginning of the drawings where they really force you to think, how can I use the shapes that I know, and how can I use the commands that I am able to use to recreate things and really, you know, be able to create parts that are actually used for something as opposed to it just being an exercise. So that's drawing 10.7. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, I am always around to answer them for you.